Peace, beautiful people. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back. It's your girl, Desiree D. Ray Y, spiritual healing coach. And I am back to talk about the spiritual messages from magic mushrooms to take into or to utilize in 2023. This is what we are talking about today: the spiritual messages, the spiritual downloads, the aha moments, the realizations that I received while on a mushroom trip that you all can utilize just like I'll be utilizing in this 2023. First of all, what are magic mushrooms? Okay, let me first off start by saying this: magic mushrooms are not the mushrooms that you find in the grocery store. Okay, even though you can do magic with those as well, because you can do magic with anything. Okay, you can do magic with absolutely anything. But the magic mushrooms that I am talking about are psilocybin. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about psilocybin. And listen, even if you are not interested in taking mushrooms yourself, the messages that are going to come through today, the downloads and the channels that are coming through today are for everyone. They're for everyone, okay? It's not just about the mushrooms, it's about the messages that the mushrooms delivered. So, if you're wondering about what magic mushrooms are, they are fungi or fungus, right? That grows naturally in the earth, um, specifically from cow poop, if we want to be all the way frank, okay? And when you take magic mushrooms, they cause something to happen in your mind. They cause like a chemical reaction to take place. And I'm not going to get all scientific because that's not my lane. I'm just going to tell you what I know from my own experience. What I know from my experience, family, is that the magic mushrooms opens up other neural pathways in the brain. And this is so important because we can get so caught up, so invested in this one way of thinking. And though you may want to change your mind, you may want to change your mind, you may want to think differently, you may be begging for new thoughts, but for some reason you can't break through, magic mushrooms can help you. Okay. Another way that we use mushrooms, for me specifically, I was just looking for a breakthrough. I was just like, okay, Spirit, I've been receiving a dollar downloads. I've been receiving a lot of channels. A lot of information has been coming through, but there's still something that I'm just not seeing that I need to see. There's something that I need to be investing in within myself that I'm just not getting. And so my spirit was like, go on a mushroom trip. And so out of nowhere, it was like a Monday or something. Mind you, I took these mushrooms back in November, and I'm just now, I believe I took them in November. Yeah, November. And I'm just now talking to y'all about it, right? Because it takes time to like integrate these things. And so I was like, okay, Spirit, I'm needing a breakthrough. I'm needing my mind to just I see what I see, but there's more for me to see that I'm not seeing. So I'm like, Spirit, I need the download. I need the breakthrough. I need this other thought process to come through. And so magic mushrooms also helps with that. And so that's what brought us here today. So I just wanted to give a quick introduction into why you would take magic mushrooms. A lot of people also take them for medical reasons. If you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with some sort of sickness and you just want to gain a new perspective, magic mushrooms will help you do that. And it's so beautiful, family, because when we think about mushrooms, mushrooms are everywhere. Okay. They're literally everywhere. You can go outside in your backyard and you'll probably see some mushrooms. But what's so deep about them is that mushrooms have been here since the beginning of time, and they literally are always in communication. They're always in communication with each other. They're always in communication with the earth. They're always in communication with you when you ingest them. Okay. And so that's just kind of how I decided to dive in. All right. Let me say hey to y'all before I keep going. Peace, East Tea Tree. Hey, sis. Peace to Shauna. Peace, Eileen. Peace, Shamika. Thank you, sis. Peace, Dre. Thank you. Thank you. Peace, my love. Jaslyn, Kwamin, Shay. Peace, y'all. Listen, like and share the video because, like I said, this is not just about taking mushrooms. Even though I vouch for that as well. If you already have the right mental set, I vouch for that. But this is about the information that came through for me that I know intuitively that I was meant to share. Look at this hair, y'all. That I was meant to share with y'all. So that's why we are here. Now, let me ask y'all this. Do y'all want me to just jump straight into the downloads, or do y'all want me to jump into my process into getting started with the magic mushrooms? Y'all let me know, because some of you, some of you are interested in taking and going on a trip. Some of y'all are interested in microdosing. Some of y'all are interested in different things. So y'all let me know which one you would like to do. Right? Do you want to jump straight into the downloads, or do you want to know more about, the preparation, how you prepare to take mushrooms? How do you set up your environment? If y'all want to know about those things, I will gladly tell you about it. But let me know in the chat, okay? Because I want to give you some good stuff. East Tea Tree says both, child. I want to know about both. Yes. I got you. I will definitely let you know about both. Listen, before I get into it, y'all, the Ashe cards have come in. The new Ashe cards have come in. So let's see. I want to see, before I get into it, what deity should I kind of integrate and allow into this space? So y'all talking about y'all want to know it all. Kwame says environment. Okay, awesome. And we got a deity that just came out. Y'all, this Hanuman card jumped out. This is our Hanuman card for the Ashe cards. Look at that. Very powerful. And it says Hanuman is the Hindu god that is widely known for his strength and devotion to the Lord Rama. It's funny because, y'all, I think also on Panic's video, was that Panic's video? I think I heard a glimpse, just a short little bit of Panic's video. I didn't really watch it, but I know I remember him saying something about Hanuman and humility. And you want to know why that's important? Is because when you come to these magic mushrooms, humility is key, right? You got to come in humbly. And that's a part of the environment that you have to set, okay? So it says, Hanuman is also known for his mastery of various energies. Hanuman had the ability to channel the energies of fire, air, water, and earth into his physical body to increase his strength and agility. He was even able to use these energies to fly through the sky or traverse vast distances with great speed. His energies are strength, confidence, courage, assertiveness. I receive that. Thank you. I receive that Hanuman energy. I receive that Archangel Michael energy. I receive all of that. Thank you, Spirit. So let's talk about the environment really quickly. So first of all, when it comes to any type of psychedelic, first of all, let me just say this. When it comes to any form of spiritual work, there should always be a calling for that work. Okay? People, this year, 2023, Don't do stuff just because Dream said it. Don't do stuff just because Desiree D. Ray Wise said it. Don't do stuff just because all of these spiritual people that you watch said so. There should be something inside of you that draws you towards a certain type of spiritual practice, or that draws you towards a certain type of spiritual work. And so for me, when it came down to the mushrooms, I literally had just, I'm a very intuitive oracle channel being, right? So I know what my divine voice sounds like, and literally it just came through like Godspeed. You need to do some mushrooms. And so I just went with it. It wasn't it wasn't triggered or inspired by anything outside of me. It was an internal conversation that led me to those mushrooms. So that's the very first thing. When it comes down to any form of spiritual work, allow it to come from inside of you. Allow it to be a divine channel that you need to move in this specific way. All right. So that's the first thing. You don't want to do ayahuasca, magic mushrooms, all of these other things, all of these other entheogens. You don't want to do them just because they sound interesting. You want to do them because you have a question that you are needing the answers to, and you fully realize that the answers are going to come from your divine mind, and you use these magic mushrooms, or you use this plant medicine, you use it to unlock certain aspects in your mind. Okay? So I know you all have been there before. Let me know in the chat if you've been there before, to where you're just looking for answers. You're looking for answers. You're looking for answers. And it seems like there's nobody on the internet. There's no book. There's nothing that can give you the answers that you're looking for. Have y'all ever had that experience before? To where your spirit is just like, there's something that I need to know. There's something that's missing. There's something that I'm not understanding. There's something that I'm not grasping. And it's not coming from, you're not getting it out of the books. You're not getting it out of YouTube. It's just the ahas are not coming up. Well, plant medicine is a great solution when you are in those moments. Okay? All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Right. So we're not alone in this. And so plant medicine is what we go to in those moments where we're just where we're just asking for something deep to be revealed to us. And so that's where I was at. I told some of y'all know this, but I'll tell you again, at the end of 2022, really around November, I just started to feel a little bit stagnant in my spiritual business growth, right? And I just knew that there was some aspects that I needed to be tapping into, but I didn't know how, right? And it wasn't coming from anything outside of me, even though spirit is so funny. After I embarked on, the mushroom, I don't know if it happened after or around the same time. I think around the same time where I took the mushrooms, spirit did give me the person that I was looking for that's supporting me in my work. And like I told y'all, I made a pretty large financial investment in getting that divine support. But there was things in my own mind that I had to unlock and open in order for that to come through. And so plant medicine does that for you. Helps you break through some of the things that are unconscious. Helps you to see some of the things that are unconscious. All right. So that's first and foremost. Your intentions, excuse me. Your intentions, family, is absolutely everything. All right. And that's one thing about me. I don't play. Even when it comes down to smoking weed, like, no, I'm not just going to smoke just for the fun of smoking. Like, everything for me has to be intentional, even with alcohol. Let me say that too, because a lot of people socially drink, and you're just doing it for the fun or whatever. No, even your alcohol consumption should be ritualistic, should be intentional, and there should be a set for it, right? There should be a set for it. So whenever you listen to anything pertaining to plant medicine, you're always going to hear this word set. And what they're really talking about is your mental frame, right? Where you are mentally and energetically before you engage in these things. All right. And so for me, my set was one that is of peace. My mind was absolutely peaceful. I was absolutely clear, and I was ready to see whatever I needed to see. If I needed to see a demon, I was ready to see that shit. If I needed to see some old trauma, I was ready to see it. Whatever I needed to see for me to break free, break through, and get to my next level in my being and really quantum leap in my essence, I was ready to do that. So that's very important when it comes down to plant medicine. If you are feeling uneasy, afraid, anxious, and you're like, oh shit, I don't want to see anything, I don't want to see nothing scary, you're probably not ready to take that journey. And that's not to say that you will see scary things, because I didn't see anything scary, but some people do, based off of their set, based off of their mental frame. Okay. But because my mental frame was just peaceful, and I had already surrendered. I had already accepted before I even took the mushrooms. In the days preparing, I had already surrendered. Okay. So that's another big deal. Before you take these magic mushrooms or any plant medicine, I don't even care if it's marijuana, right? You need to make sure that you are in the right state of mind, and you need to make sure that your vessel, your body is ready to receive that divine communication. And so for me, leading up to the mushrooms, I actually fasted. Okay. I actually fasted leading up to the mushrooms. I want to say I fasted like 2 or 3 days. I fasted like 2 or 3 days. And then the day of the mushrooms, I went in. All right. I went in. So do we understand that part when it comes down to the set? Set just simply means your mental frame, your mental space. How are you feeling energetically? How are you feeling spiritually? How are you feeling internally? Are you ready to embark on this journey? And are you in the space of surrenderance, of acceptance, and of internal preparation? That's set. Let me know in the chat if we got that, because if you are interested in doing this is a big deal to really understand. Okay. Good, good, good. And then the other thing when it comes down to it is setting, right? Is setting. So, of course, for me, before I went in, y'all, I cleaned the hell out of our house. Everything was organized, put together, no dirty clothes, no dirty dishes, no anything like that. Because I'm like, yeah, no, I refuse to be on this trip and see some damn dirty dishes and it fuck with my psyche. Okay. Because that's a big deal, y'all. I'm telling you, the dishes will start talking, the plants will start talking, everything starts to communicate. And what you'll realize as you're on a plant medicine journey, what you'll realize is that everything has an energy. Everything has an energy. Literally, y'all, I took a spiritual bath while I was on while I was on my trip. I was coming towards the end of the trip. I took a spiritual bath. I was literally in the tub for an hour, which is not, I take spiritual baths often, but never that long. I was literally in that water for an hour talking to the water, or the water talking to me. However you want to see it, that's what it was. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that your setting is right. Fortunately, I had Dream and Kimmy, they were both at home. Our other two kids were at school, and Dream literally said, all right, babe, since you're gonna go on this journey, um, don't worry about nothing. I'ma cancel everything on my schedule, and you just go do whatever you gotta do. And so that's what I did. And to be exact, it was spiritual, y'all, because I was just taking mushrooms out and putting it on the scale. And it had got to like 2.22. And I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'm doing, 2.22. And that's another big deal. Let me also say this. Don't base the amount that you take based off of what you read on on YouTube and what you read on the internet and so on and so forth. This is why you wanting this experience for spiritual reasons is so important. And so for me, I didn't say, oh, let me take 3.5 grams because that's like the dose where you really go into all of these things. No, I did something called muscle testing. Have y'all ever heard of muscle testing? Let me know in the chat. Have y'all ever heard of muscle testing? I'm gonna tell y'all the essence of it. The essence of muscle testing, and I'm telling y'all a whole bunch of, stuff that's good stuff though. All right, let me tell you about muscle testing. So, muscle testing is when so your muscles, your body is connected to your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind knows all. Your subconscious mind is your spirit. Your subconscious mind pretty much knows what it is that you need. It knows what it is that you need. It knows the truth about how you think, how you feel, and what you're really prepared for, even when your ego tries to tell you otherwise. And so the subconscious mind is really integrated within your body. And so muscle testing is when you'll hold out your arm. I personally have Dream do it for me because I be like, I don't want to have mind games with myself, right? So you hold out your arm and you ask a question. Okay. You ask a question. If the answer is yes, then your arm is going to stay strong. If the answer is no, then your arm is going to easily be pushed down. Go research it, y'all. So a lot of people use muscle testing with their fingers where they'll try to separate their fingers. If they can't separate their fingers, then the answer is yes to a question that they may have. And then if they can separate it, then the answer is no. So essentially what's happening is within your muscles, within your body, within your being are answers. And so if you ask a question and the answer is yes, your muscles are going to be strong. If you answer a question and the answer is no, your muscles are going to be weak. Okay? So that's muscle testing. All right? And there's a very powerful science behind it. And the science basically is your body is intelligence. Okay? Your body is intelligent. All right? Your body is intelligent. And within your body are is a lot of answers that you're looking for. And so we muscle tested for me. I did muscle testing. Okay, should I do 3.5 grams? And my muscle test said no. So I was like, okay, should I do 1 gram? No. And then when I got to 2 grams, the muscle test came back yes. And so that's how I chose to do that amount. Okay, that's how I chose to do that amount. All right. And so you all want to do that same thing. Maybe you don't do it using the muscle test. Maybe you use a pendulum, or maybe you use a tarot deck to where you ask questions, yes or no. And based off the cards, that's how you know yes, or that's how you knew no. But at the end of the day, you want to intuitively move whenever you are deciding to embark on these journeys. Okay. So that's what I did. And we ended up getting to 2.2 grams. And also what I did, which I don't know if I would do it this way again, because I had made mine into a tea. I had made mine into a tea where I blended it up, steeped it, and then drank the tea. And then after about 30 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling something. It's coming on. I could tell it was coming on because the sun was brighter. The trees and the grass were brighter. Like everything had become more vibrant. So I could tell, okay, the journey is starting. But so instead of just drinking the tea, what I did was I took the blended up mushrooms that I steeped in the tea. I took that and I ate that as well because I just wanted it all. I'm like, I need my answers. Let's go. All right. And so that's what I did. We got that. We got that. So again, before you embark on any of these journeys, one, your intentions need to be pure. And like we were talking about in the Patreon book club earlier today, I absolutely spoke to my mushrooms and I told them what I needed. Absolutely. I spoke honestly. I spoke openly. I spoke earnestly. And I just spoke from my heart. I really just spoke from my heart. And I just, basically said whatever I need to see, whatever I need to feel, whatever I need to observe, allow for that to happen so that I can go to my next level. And the truth of the matter is, family, is so deep that when we take plant medicine and we do it from the right mental frame, in the right setting, and with the right support to decode the messages that we receive, the truth of the matter is we have the potential to quantum leap our spiritual growth, quantum leap our healing. We have the potential to tap deeper into who we actually desire to be, because we get a very clear understanding of what's standing in the way of that. And that's something that we all want. I mean, y'all can let me know if I'm wrong, but for me, I'm like, I see the divine, sacred woman I am meant to be, and I see who I am today. And whatever work that I have to get through in order to connect more with her, I want to do that. I want to get that done. I want to move forward. Okay. And so that's what led me, that's what's been happening. And that's what led me to take the magic mushrooms. Y'all let me know in the chat if we're getting that. Let me know in the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all let me know. I can't wait to tell y'all about some of the experiences and how some of these downloads came through. I'm super duper excited to tell y'all how Spirit was showing me. Yes, thank you. Tuning fork. Tuning fork 999 hertz. So excited. All right, Shay says we got it. Good. Good, good, good. All right, so after I got out of my spiritual bath on my mushroom trip, after I got out of my spiritual bath, I got this little journal called Witchy Bitchy Things. Shout out to B. Lewis, which is our brother. Y'all know Zeus from Patreon. Zeus from Patreon. He his wife is an artist, and so this is one of her journals. And in fact, it's so divine because I found this journal. First of all, we got this journal at the Master Student Conference. We got it at the Master Student Conference in Atlanta, but that was way this summer, and I just now found it like at the end of November when I did my mushroom trip. And so I had picked it up and I was like, oh, maybe Dream has been using it. And I opened it and it was completely empty. And I was like, oh, Spirit, thank you. This is for me. And so the very first page, let me see if it's going to be the very first page. The very first page in this journal is dedicated to that mushroom trip, right? So, very first page dedicated to that mushroom. I essentially blessed this journal, from the mushroom trip. So, love it, love it, love it. I hope y'all are saying, got it, got it. Thanks for all the details. Good, 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 good. Everything intuitively led, everything spiritually led. Set those intentions. Make sure your home is clean. And listen, let me tell y'all, because you are a spiritual being, that's why your set is so important. Your mental frame is so important, right? Because I feel like a lot of people who don't have the right mental frame, or a lot of people who are unaware of their shadow selves, that's when taking this plant medicine can become very traumatic. Or if the people who are in their environment are not aware of their energies and the energy that they're putting out, it can be very challenging then, okay? And so you want to make sure that you're surrounded by love. You want to make sure that you're in a mental state of a mental place of peace, and you just want to make sure that you've already got your mind and your heart made up that you are going to embrace whatever shows up. Okay? And that's the beautiful part about taking magic mushrooms or any psychedelic or any plant medicine for that reason, is that it really forces you to surrender. And if you choose not to surrender, that's when the anxiety, the fear, that's when all of that stuff comes up. But when you allow, which was a major download that I received, was allow and surrender. That's one of the divine messages the magic mushroom trip has to offer. Okay. But when you allow and you surrender, baby, everything gets easier. And so let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Let's talk about that, what that actually looks like moving into 2020. Well, we're in 2023, right? Allowance and surrender. This energy is so important, family, for this year. And it's very important for life. Okay. It's very important for life to accept things as they are. Okay. To accept things as they are. I feel like that's a part of something that we really need to be understanding in this 2023. Okay. A lot of times it's our resistance, it's this internal fight that we have going on that really blocks us from being able to extract the wisdom, the blessing, the transformation that is meant to come from a certain situation. Okay. So even for me right now, I was talking about this in the Patreon book club this morning, right? I know right now that I can't be a multitasker in 2023. In 2023, my higher self, my spirit guides are telling me to focus, focus on one thing at a time, and to allow all of the distractions to fall away. Okay? Because here's how I am. I'm a really a jack of all trades. I'm really talented at a lot of things. I can do a lot of things, but I am not meant to do all of those things at one time. Okay? And so I'll be up here doing some work, right? I'm getting some work in, I'm getting busy, I'm doing what I have to do, and a thought will come in my mind, and then I just want to turn and start doing those things. And then before you know it, it's taking me 2 hours to do something that should have taken me 15 minutes. It's taking me 2 hours to do something that should have taken me 30 minutes to do. But the reason why that has been happening, or the reason why that was happening, was because I was trying to tell myself, oh, I'm a multitasker. I'm going to do all of these things at once. I can do this and do this and do that and do that. Okay? So allowing things to go, allowing yourself to set certain aspects free, surrendering certain qualities that are not in alignment with where you have to go. I know I'm not the only one that is good at multitasking, but when you really sit down and you think about it, it's like, wow, I could have been done faster if I would have just dedicated time, energy, and focus to this one thing and then move on to the next. Okay? And family, what I want y'all to know, that it's simple things like this that make the difference in your transformation, in your healing, and in your manifestation. But you have to be able to pick up on that. You have to be able to pick up on it. I've been picking up on it. I be upstairs doing some work, and I'm like, okay, this is coming up, and then this is coming up, and I'm like, shit, let me just stop. Let me just finish this one thing, please. And then as I finish it, I will move on to the next. Yes, I love that, Mahogany, especially multitasking with different spiritual works at the same time. Yes. Yes. We have to allow some things to fall away in a specific moment. Allow it to go. And so I had to say, okay, you know what? It's okay if I just focus on this one thing. It's okay. I'm not missing out. I'm not losing anything by choosing to focus in this moment. Okay? So, but things like that take practice. It takes practice. And I'm constantly I'm constantly, having to perfect that. Okay. So, one of the other downloads that I received from the Magic Mushroom trip, I think a lot of y'all are going to be blessed by it. Do you want to hear it? It's so simple. It's so simple. And that's the thing about the divine. That's the thing about plant medicine is that they do not overcomplicate things. Your higher self, y'all, your spirit guides, your spirit team, your angels, it's not complicated. It's just not complicated. I was so amazed by this, by these simple words that came to my mind. Y'all want to hear it? Y'all let me know if y'all want to hear it. Simple words that came to my mind that I'm like, wow, thank you, Spirit. I'm like, wow, thank you. I needed to hear that. Very simple. And it's this. It's this. Some thoughts that you are having just don't matter. Some thoughts that you are having just don't matter. I know that sounds so simple. It's like, no, that's too simple. That's too simple. But that's literally a download that I received. In fact, it's the very first. It's the very first. Let's see if it's going to focus. It's the very first download. Some thoughts just don't matter. I think when we get into spirituality, one of the first things that we hear is the mind is all, the universe is mental. One of the first things that we hear is your thoughts become things. One of the first things that we hear is that your thoughts are creating your reality. That's one of the very first things that we hear. And I do believe there's some truth to that. But what I also know is that there are some thoughts that we are giving too much energy to. And we're giving it so much energy because there's that fear of, I don't want this to manifest. I don't want this to be my life experience. I don't want this to happen to me. And the neural pathway that opened up for me just said, some thoughts just don't matter. Like, stop giving it so much energy. And so that's something that I want you all to know, family. Learn to take back your energy. Learn to take back all of the fucks that you've given to some of the thoughts that are in your head. Because it's the amount of care, the amount of focus that you are actually putting into the thought is what makes it matter. Let me break that down. Is what makes it physical matter. Some thoughts just don't matter, meaning some thoughts are not going to come into physical form in your life. They're just not. And so you have to learn to take a step back and not give it so much energy, so much anxiety, so much care. It just doesn't matter. And that was so important for me because I realized that I was just like thinking so hard about certain things. I think sometimes we think too much, right? And I know people are probably like, what do you mean you think too much? Like, there's no such thing as thinking too much. But there is. Thinking too much about the thing. Okay, what's that? What does this mean? Why am I thinking that way? So on and so forth. I mean, yes, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you absolutely have to do that. But a lot of times, family, your spirit guides, your higher self is just like, how about you just let it go? How about you just move on? How about we just not give it that energy? Some thoughts just don't matter. Some thoughts just don't matter. And yes, what Dream said is very true. I do not know who those people are that are soliciting you all to get their products. Okay. I don't know who they are. So please, hey, be cautious. Okay. Because I don't know. I don't know them. All right. Um, Here's another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful download that I received from the mushrooms. And this is so as I was on the mushroom trip, let me tell you what happened. So I told y'all I went to take a bath. And oh my God, that's one thing, y'all. When you get in the mirror and you on some shrooms, you're gonna get caught up in a trance. Oh my goodness. And listening to some music. So let me tell y'all, I was listening to some music naked in the mirror. And this was one of the most magical. I had so many magical moments that I do plan on sharing with you all. But this was one of the most magical moments, being butt naked in the mirror, listening to music. And music is one of my spiritual mediums. So I just knew that I was going to be receiving a whole bunch of downloads as I was listening. And so when I was looking at myself in the mirror, Spirit had told me right there in that moment, you're going to have to talk to other women about this. And I was like, okay. And I was told to share with you ladies specifically that if you have body image issues, I'm too skinny, my arms are too big, I can't stand these stretch marks, my booty flat, no, my booty too fat, my breasts are sagging, my nipples are so big, whatever it is, if you have body image, body distortions, let me say it that way. If you see your body from a distorted perspective, and you'll know that your perception is distorted if the way that you perceive your body is anything less than love. You have a distorted perception of your body if it is anything less than love. Okay? And so as I was in the mirror, dancing, moving my waist, moving side to side, I received this message that literally said, the physical body is literally art. Literally. I want y'all to, I don't even know if I really could explain it, because it's like the way the magic mushrooms cause you to perceive things is it's just so deep, right? Like you can't, me just saying it's not giving the essence. Here's what I mean. I'm in the mirror, and as my body is like twisting and turning and swaying and doing all of these different things, I just see it in different, I see it as like statues. It was so amazing how the magic mushrooms helped you to see things that otherwise you can't see it that way, right? Any other time I would be in the bathroom, I'm like, oh, I love my body. Yes, I love myself. But I did not see it as a work of art. And it gets deeper. I'm explaining to y'all. So I'm in the mirror, and my mind is just saying, your body is a work of art. Your body is a work of art. Your body is a work of art. So every scar, every stretch mark, every mole, every dimple, every cellulite, all of that is literally the work of art. It's God's artwork, essentially, literally. And so as I'm looking at my breastfeeding breast, stretch mark belly, long slim legs, as I'm looking at all of this and I'm moving side to side, I'm literally seeing these different like figurines. And it was so amazing, y'all. Literally, I called Dream in there. I'm like, babe, come here, thinking he's going to see what I see. And I think he did. I think I was able to convince him, even though he already feels that way naturally. But I call him into the bathroom and we start dancing. Such a sweet moment because we were playing music. So yes, y'all are getting all the insight. Your girl was naked, called hubby in the bathroom. Of course, he's taking care of Kimmy, so she has to come in the bathroom too. And I'm playing the music and I'm moving and I'm like, babe, do you see this? Do you see this artwork? I'm like, do you see this artwork? Like, this is amazing. So for any woman who is just like, your self-talk when it comes down to your body is not where it should be, go on a magic mushroom trip, stand in the mirror naked, and you will see literally art. You will literally see art. Art that cannot be, they do their best to like duplicate it, but it's nothing like seeing it for yourself. It's nothing like seeing it for yourself. And so I'm in that mirror, I'm dancing, I'm grooving. And let me tell you how it gets deeper. It gets deeper because I go to write these notes. I'm like, okay, I'm writing down all of the downloads that I received. And so I go and I'm writing, the body is a work of art. I'm going and I'm writing that down. That's what I thought I wrote. Y'all, this is so deep. Let me see if I can show y'all my journal. Okay. I go to write down, the body is a work of art. But when I went back and read it, it says the body is the work of heart. Okay? Let me explain that to y'all again. Let me explain it to you again to make sure you understand. I have received the download. The body is a work of art. That's what I received. And so I was going and writing it down. And I'm just in the flow as I'm writing, right? Because I'm still on my trip, but I don't want to forget these very important downloads that's coming through. So I'm writing, I'm just going. When I got done with everything that I was writing and I went back and read it, instead of it saying the body is a work of art, it said the body is the work of heart. Okay? The body is a work of heart. Let me explain that to you. Okay? So one thing we know for sure is that the heart is directly connected to the earth, right? Heart, earth, they're one and the same. Your physical body is your earth element. Your physical body is literally your earth element. And so your body is a physical representation of what is in your heart. Okay? Your body is a physical representation of what is in your heart. So we don't eat well, exercise, and all of those things just because we want to be quote unquote healthy. We eat well, we take care of ourselves, we exercise because we actually love ourselves. Okay? We do those things because where our heart is at. And so when you're not taking care of your physical body, when you're not tuning into your physical body, when you're not keeping up with your physical body, when you're not keeping up with your earth element, it's because there's some sort of blockage within your heart when it comes down to you loving on you. Okay? So anytime you find yourself overindulging in sweets, overindulging in alcohol, living a sedentary lifestyle, talking bad about your physical body, so on and so forth. Whenever you find yourself doing those things, you really have to look at your heart. What's happening in your heart? How are you feeling in your heart about yourself? Because your physical body is a representation of that. It was so divine, so amazing. I was just like, wow. I thought I had wrote down damn art. I go back and read and it says heart. I'm like, okay, spirit, I get it. So the more heart work you do, the healthier your body will be. The more heart work you do, the more you could actually take on abundance, because the earth element and abundance, the root chakra, are hand in hand. The root chakra is the earth element. Your physical body is the earth element. So the more hard work you do, the more abundance you can withhold. The more hard work you do, the more in tune and connected you are to your body. The more hard work you do, the more you will feel good about your physical body. The more you will feel good within your physical body. Okay? It's all about the work of the heart that connects you to your physical body. Okay? Very, very powerful, powerful stuff. And so if you find yourself in the mirror having an unhealthy conversation with your body, or if you allow, the people outside of you to judge your body or to make you feel some type of way about your body, you have to do heart chakra work. You got to heal your heart. You heal your heart, you'll heal your body. That's just it. Okay? You heal your heart, you'll feel good about your body. You'll feel good about the body that you are inhabiting. All right? Another major download that came through the magic mushroom trip is I am not vowed or obligated to carry anyone's burdens. I am not vowed or obligated to carry anyone's burdens. Now I want y'all to really, really sit with that. Let me tell y'all how that came up. I was in our magic room. Dream and I, we have a whole room dedicated to magic. And in this room, we have all of these different altars. Okay? We have ancestor altar. We have our Lakshmi altar. We have our inner child altars. We have our present self altar. We just have altars. It's a full room dedicated to altars and to spiritual work. And I had picked up this journal. And as I went to pick it up, I found a picture of my late grandfather and my uncle. Okay. As I went to go pick up this journal, again, I'm on the trip now. I'm journeying, right? I went to go pick up a picture of my late grandfather. My grandfather passed away in the 90s. He passed away in the 90s. I was a girl. Don't remember how old exactly. And my uncle is still alive and well now, right? I went to go pick up, I see this picture of them too. And the picture it's an old picture. The picture is probably from sometime in the 80s, maybe 70s or 80s is where this picture is coming from. And they're sitting side by side and they have their arm around each other and they're both smiling. And I'm looking at the picture and I started having a conversation with my grandpa and we're just kind of talking, a little bit. And then I look at the picture of my uncle. My uncle, he's the oldest child out of my mother's siblings. He's the oldest. And as I'm looking at his picture, his face starts to morph into my mother's face. So instead of seeing him on the picture, I see my mother. Are we following me? I want to make sure y'all are following me. I want to make sure you're getting what I'm saying. Okay? As I'm looking at the picture, I see his face. But his face starts shape shifting and morphing into my mother's face. Okay? Let me know in the chat if y'all are following me. And as I'm looking at this picture and their faces keep morphing back and forth, it keeps going from his face to her face, his face to her face. As I'm looking at the picture, I see this very mischievous, vampiric energy come across the picture of his face. So as the picture is going back and forth from from my mother face to his face, every time it's on his face, it's like a little evil smile. Y'all saw that movie Smile. Y'all saw that little scary movie Smile. It was like it was a smile, but it was evil. Every time it went back to his face, that's what I saw. An evil, vampiric smile. It didn't scare me at all, though. That was powerful. I wasn't scared of that shit at all. I was like, oh, okay, I see you. But the message that Spirit told me right then and there was that my uncle's energy was draining my mother. My uncle's energy was draining my mother. And here's why. My uncle has been battling with a crack cocaine addiction for all my life, since before I was born. Okay? Since before I was born, he has been, and I don't know how long he's been clean for now, but since before I was born, he had this battle. And my mother is the oldest daughter. And y'all know about women, specifically Black women. We be ride or die. We be, we're going to carry the load. We're going to carry the burden. We're going to do everything and anything that we got to do to save our people. But what that picture and him shape-shifting and him morphing, his face morphing, what it actually showed me was that his energy had attached so heavily to my mother's. He has been so dependent on my mother that it's draining her life force. And so the message that I received from Spirit was, I am not vowed or obligated to carry anyone's burdens. Doesn't matter who it is. Mother, father, child, husband, wife, sibling, not burdened to carry anybody's stuff. It's not a vow or an obligation. And the truth of the matter is that some of you, like my mother, do make that vow. You do make that agreement. See, and then after I saw that and I came down, I called my mother. I said, yeah, Ma, you gotta let Unc go. You gotta let him go. You cannot be, everything and anything that he needs you to be, because it's draining you. And I didn't tell her how I came to that realization, because I don't know if she was actually ready to receive that, it being that intense. But I definitely told her. And she was like, you are telling me exactly what I needed to hear. She was like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. I've been feeling that. I know that. And I'm going to do better. But what I want y'all to know and understand is that shit, y'all, it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to attach yourself to other people and to make their problems your problems. And when you do that, you block them from having the experiences that they need to have in order. My uncle is older than my mother, but she's always been his mother. Okay? My mother is older than her brother, but she's always been his mother. And so I like what you said, Aware. Says, I do not consent to former agreements that were made in my Ignorance. That's a bar. Somebody better write that down. Somebody better write that down. That's powerful. That's super powerful. That's it. That's the energy. That was the message. Okay? Because here's what we got to understand. These agreements become made as a form of a trauma response. Come on, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. You make these agreements as a form of a trauma response. So something happens, specifically if we're talking about my mother, you know? I think when her brother became addicted to crack cocaine, that was traumatizing for her in the 80s. You know, your big brother who was once your hero, he was her hero. He was their hero. Okay? He was their hero. My uncle was a great boxer. He was a great, and he still has these skills. But obviously, when you spend so many years on drugs, hard drugs like crack cocaine, it's hard to get that back. My uncle is absolutely hilarious. He's a dancer. He's smart. He's smart as hell. He's handy as hell. But my mother, when her superhero was no longer to be that, she put the cape on. She said, okay, my big brother can no longer be our hero. He can no longer carry the torch and take care of his younger siblings. I'm next in line. And so she's been doing that for years and years and years and years and years. And so finally, just now, recently, over the last 2 years or so, she's been saying no. You know, she's been saying no. And it was deep because in our conversation, she didn't really say much. She was just like, I just knew that she was getting it. And she was just like, yeah, nah, I want to be here. That's what she said. She said, I want to be here. I want to live a long, prosperous, healthy lifestyle. I want to see my grandkids grow up and get married and do all of that. And I refuse to allow the burdens, the traumas, the mishaps, all of that. I refuse to let all of their stuff, her siblings, I refuse to let all of their stuff drain my energy to where I can show up in the actual way that I desire to show up. Very powerful. And so we got to pay attention to some of the vows that we've made. That was the start of it wasn't the start, but it was really a continuation for me, a major continuation for me, because I had already been thinking like, yeah, I'm not going to be overexerting myself in, trying to be everything for everybody, because even this was crazy, y'all. So Thanksgiving comes and my mom she's tired as hell because she's been cooking all day and night, for Thanksgiving. And my spirit was just like, see, this is a part of the lesson. I don't have to overexert myself and drain myself for my family to have a good time. I had to tell my mom, like, Mom, you doing all of this cooking does not mean that we feel more or less loved. If you didn't cook a damn thing, we still would be happy and well and good. Now I know I'm using those examples, but some of y'all know what that is for you in your own life. Okay? There are contracts. There are agreements that have been made in your ignorance where you felt like, you had to be some hero. You had to save the day. You had to save other people. And you vow yourself to that work. And a part of this mushroom trip was like, nah, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do that. I'm going to vow to myself. I'm going to vow to love myself more, to care for myself more, to nurture myself. I'm going to vow to only do things from a cup that is overflowing. And let me share something else that is so deep for y'all that I think everybody will be able to receive and understand. When you are being asked to do something, when you are being asked to do something, to show up somewhere, to this or that, even from your kids, listen, oh my God, the kids, they do it too. They will, man, they will ask you, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Mommy, can you put batteries in my car? Mommy, can you make pancakes? Mommy, can you? They will do it too. Your kids will ask you questions all day and night. I'm talking from experience. Even for them. Let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something that's good. In those moments where you know you need to say no, say no. Here's why. When you don't say no, you are giving away the energy, the essence, the love, the intention, the focus that your soul needed in that moment. I had to tell my mother this. I said, Mom, even when it comes down to you babysitting your grandkids, you babysitting Dream and I's kids, if you don't have the energy, tell us no. I had to tell my mom this on that shroom trip. I told her, I said, when the energy is not there for you, when you don't feel nourished, when you don't feel uplifted, when you don't have that essence, that light, when you don't have that, you need to tell us no for your soul. Because when you say yes and you are already drained, you are giving away the nourishment, the rejuvenation, the replenishment. You're giving that to these kids when your soul needed that. And if you keep on doing that, you're going to look up and you don't have anything. You don't have anything to keep you going. You don't have anything to keep you striving. You don't have anything that's going to keep you in alignment. You don't have anything that's going to that is going to allow you to be here and be present. So you got to say no, right? Because in those moments, family, when you don't say no and you think you showing up, you being a superhero, this is what you got to do. It's a trauma response. Let me say that anyways. It's a trauma response. And we can talk about all of the different traumas that it is, whether it's a need for validation, whether it is you feel needed, when you feel needed, that's where you get your value from. When you feel needed, that's where you get your self-worth from. Those are agreements, contracts that you have to change within yourself. Okay? So I had to tell my mom, like, your soul needs that. When you tired, I don't care if I call you. I don't care who calls you and asks you to babysit. And I told her, you know what? I'm going to take it even a step further. If I call you, because I'm an intuitive oracle anyways. So I know what the hell is going on. I can read the room. I can read energy very well. So I told her straight up. I said, if I call you and ask you to babysit and the energy is off, I'm going to tell you never mind. It doesn't even matter what you say. I'm going to just tell you never mind. We're good. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm going to do because I understand the importance of what I'm talking about. Okay? So you really have to look at your vows, your commitments, your obligations, your contracts. All right? Some of us have made, some of you may have made a contract with abandonment, with rejection, illness, obesity, scarcity, poverty. And some of these contracts were made prior to this incarnation. So you have to really target and pinpoint when you made that agreement. And I promise you, when you hit the nail on the head, understanding how that agreement was birthed, when you hit the nail on the head, it there's a shift that takes place in your being. And then you have to start speaking to the healing. And so something that I have been working on for years, and that's the thing about this intense spiritual energy, is that it takes some years. It takes time of working through these things. It's varying degrees of the spiritual work. It's varying degrees of the spiritual work, okay? And so, like, for me, when it comes down to the abandonment wound that I'm healing and that I've continued to heal many layers of it, right? Because the first layer of abandonment is like, oh, my father wasn't there, right? My mother and my father got a divorce 3 years old, okay? And I'm a daddy's girl. And now he's not here. And when I want him here, he's not showing up. He's saying he's coming, but he's not coming. And then my mama's talking bad about him. And a lot of times, abandonment and rejection, they go hand in hand. And so what I realized for myself was a part of my very deep spiritual work in this lifetime is really speaking to safety and protection. The opposite of abandonment is safety. The opposite of abandonment is protection. When something gets abandoned, it's no longer safe, it's no longer protected. And so, like, once I understand that, now I have to just start speaking and living from a place of safety and feeling safe within my being, within my essence, feeling secure within my essence, feeling that I am safe and protected as a soul that possesses a spirit, having a human experience, feeling safe and secure in this body. I'm safe in this body. I'm secure in this body. I'm protected in this body. So we have to understand, the agreements, the contracts that we've come here to actually work through. But you have to first see what it is. So, like, in the terms of my mother, just from what I observed as being a person who can see spirit like that, a part of her work is, understanding that love surpasses all space and time. And that love is not only attached to what you can do for somebody, to the amount of energy that you can expend for somebody. Because sometimes you can love a person so much that you don't do anything for them. And so, like, that's something that my mother is learning. Like, okay, I don't have to do this, and this, and that love is still there. All right. Check. Y'all let me know if we got that one. We breaking it all the way down. I'm giving y'all the messages. I am giving you the messages. Y'all let me know if we got it before I move on. Y'all let me know. I want to make sure that we don't move on before we got it. Shout out to all the Patreon members who are here right now. Shout out to all of the other family who are here right now. I love y'all. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I am so freaking grateful to be here and spend this time with y'all. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Here's another thing. Another download received is, I received this for me, but I'm sure that everybody could use it. And for me, it was to honor my divine masculine counterpart, which you all know as Dream Wise. I just realized, family, that a lot of times I need y'all to really understand the essence of relationships. And I don't think I think we only are, like, you're just scratching the surface on love and relationships. Like, shit gets really deep. It gets really, really deep. And you know what is important? I want to say this to y'all, and I'm not going to stay here too long because um I am going to do a whole class focused on relationships. So I don't want to stay here too long because I can go down the whole rabbit hole. But what I do want to say is you have to honor your divine counterpart. Um if you're in a relationship, specifically if I use Dream and I as an example, I have to let him be that divine masculine. Meaning, when he sees something, when he observes something, and when he thinks that we as a family should do something specific, him as my divine masculine, right? I made the choice. I said, you know what? You're going to be my divine masculine counterpart. You are going to be the man of this household. You are going to be the head of this household. You're going to be that role. I have to surrender and let him be that. And best believe, y'all, come in close when I tell you. I definitely told Dream right there on them shrooms. I said, now I'm going to honor you as the divine masculine, as the provider, as the giver, as the structure of this household. I'm going to honor that. I'm going to surrender. But you got to surrender to my divine feminine. You got to surrender to my chaos. You got to surrender to the emotion that I feel. And so one of the things that has come out of that for Dream and I specifically is, I'm a very emotional and intuitive being. Like, my emotions tell me a lot. Everybody is not that way. I'm that way. And so one of the things with Dream is, if I'm feeling something, a part of the work is he can't be like, well, what he be saying? Damn, babe, what you be saying? Because he be saying something specific that would irk my nerves. Why you got to get so emotional? Yeah, he say something like that. Like, why you got to get so emotional about it? Stop right there. Stop right there, because that's what we're not doing. We're not doing that anymore. Stop. We're not doing that no more, because we're actually going to honor the divine counterpart. A part of the divine feminine is emotion. So if something makes me feel some type of way, we're not going to ask me, why do I have to feel some type of way? We're going to let it be. However I'm feeling, we're going to let it be. Now, I'm not talking about toxic femininity, which is a thing. I'm not talking about toxic femininity where I feel something, and because I feel something, that just means that I can just do and say anything. We're not talking about that. What we're talking about is not feeling bad for having emotions. Do we understand? And then on the flip side of that with Dream is me not, me being open when he wants to very thoroughly talk through all of the stuff, right? Like all of the stuff that adults with children and businesses have to talk about, because he's the structure. So me as the divine feminine, I don't really be wanting to talk about all of the structure stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do about this? All right, this is how we're going to do this. We're going to do this like this. We're going to do this like this. I don't be wanting to talk about that stuff. I be wanting to say, okay, I'm feeling it right now, so I'm going to go live. I'm feeling it right now, so I'm going to do this, right? That's me. Dream, on the other hand, is like, okay, let's put some thought into this. Let's put some focus into this. All right? And so why is that important for y'all? That's important for y'all because a lot of you are in relationships or situationships. I just asked, can I change married to housewife? Stop it, sir. Stop it, sir. So a lot of you are seeking and searching to manifest relationships, right? Like, so many of you, either you're in a relationship or you are seeking to manifest one. And one thing that is so important that the magic mushrooms made very clear is that you must honor the divine counterpart. So, as women, if you are going to stand in your divine feminine, you must allow that divine masculine energy to flow as it flows, to move as it moves. You can't talk down on the divine masculine. Oh, you want everything to be so organized. You want everything to be so structured. You want everything to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't talk down on the aspect that you're saying you want. I was like, okay, Spirit, I got it. I got it. Because I know me. I just want to flow. I just want to be chaos. I just want to do things when I want to do them. So I'm going to let him put some structure to my chaos. And oh, here it is. Oh, come on, Spirit. Spirit just dropped it right on me. Oh, God. All right. Y'all really, ladies and brothers, do y'all want to hear this? Because it's hard for me to even say it, right? It's even hard for me to say it because it's ego. My ego is like, do you really want to say that? Y'all let me know. If it's testing my ego, you know it's about to be juicy. Juicy. Y'all want to hear it? It's testing my ego. My ego was like, ooh, girl, do you really want to say that? I'm debating on if I want to say it. Because my ego is like, ooh, girl, honey, ooh, this is about to be real. Here it is. My ego, oh, my spirit just dropped it on me, and my ego is like really fighting. How, God, you know it's real, but I'm gonna say it. As women, as women, if you want that divine masculine counterpart, you have to allow him to tell you what to do. That is so challenging to say. When you have that divine masculine, see, let me put some context, because some of y'all don't have that just yet. But I have that. Which means in some instances, I have to allow Dreamwise to tell me what to do. Is that as challenging for y'all as it is for me? Y'all let me know. Cause somebody telling me what to do don't work. No. You're not telling me what to do. No. I don't want to do it. No. And let me tell you how crazy it is, y'all. It's crazy because the shit he be saying, it be right sometimes, right? It be right sometimes. It be right. But something in me just be like, no. No. It ain't even what he's saying to me. It's not what he's saying to me. It's I want to come up with that solution myself. I want to say that's the answer. That's what I should be doing. I want to come up with that myself. I don't want you to tell me that. But that's a part of the growth. That's a part of the healing. That's the part of being one entity. That's masculine energy, because the masculine energy puts the structure. The masculine energy puts a container around your flow. Think about a bottle of water. Let me explain this to y'all. You see this bottle of water? The bottle is the masculine energy. The water is the feminine energy. Thank you, bottle of water, for just being here right when I need you to be. Perfect. The bottle, the container, is the masculine. The water is the feminine. And if this water did not have no structure, it'll be everywhere in everything, destroying some shit, spilling all over my papers and spilling all over my books, and just not where it needs to be. But when you get a container, now you can do and fulfill your mission adequately. Let me get some hand claps in the chat. Let me get some hand claps in the chat. When you have a container as that divine feminine energy, when you have a container, when you have structure, now you get to fulfill your chaos, your power, your magic adequately and in a way that does not drain your being. When you as the divine feminine do not have any structure, when you as the divine feminine do not have a container, you leaking everywhere. You're spilling everywhere. Dream Wise says he gives me the understanding of, okay, you want to do these readings? Which I would tell y'all this right now. Deep download. The readings came through these magic mushroom trips. Let me not see, that's chaos. See, I'm about to go way over there. I'm about to go way over there and share with y'all how I decided that I was going to do these readings spontaneously. I was about to go way over there. Let me stick to the container real quick. But as that divine feminine energy, as that water, as that flow, as that chaos, there's no limit to what you can do, ladies. There's absolutely no limit to what I can do. But if I don't have the structure, I won't do anything. Because the distraction, because it's this. Oh, look at that bird over there. Ooh, that would be a great outfit to wear. Damn, what we're going to eat for dinner? I really should be doing some exercise and some yoga. What's happening on Instagram? What the girl did? Chaos. Chaos. Oh, I can't wait to watch this. Chaos. And so Dream, as my divine counterpart, says, okay, babe, let's sit down and look at the calendar. When do you want to do these readings? How long are you going to do them for? How much are they going to cost? Is that going to be good for your energy? Can you withhold all of that energy? What changes do we need to make in our household in order to be able to do that? Okay? So as the divine feminine, we absolutely need to honor that divine masculine counterpart because they give us a container to operate in our greatness. Now, the opposite of that, the divine masculine. See, y'all, I can tell y'all some stories, okay? Dream has to honor the divine feminine because when he does, things get better. He'd be like, damn, babe, you know what? That was a good idea. Here's a great example of that. So, let me give y'all a great example. So when I did the mushroom trip, peace, Vanessa. Vanessa says, my reading from you was phenomenal. Raising the roof, raising the roof, raising the roof. I'm honored. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you. So did the magic mushroom trip, y'all, and I'm in the spiritual bath, and I just received this download that we need to have Christmas at our house. We need to have Christmas at our house. Now, the reason why I received that download was because I had talked to my mother on the phone, and I know she overextends herself, and she's learning to say no and not to do too much when it comes to family. And then Dream's mom, on the other hand, she the bank, right? When it comes to family, she rather go out to eat and spend her money. That's what she would rather do. And so I had received this spiritual, intuitive, divine feminine download that says, you know what? Let's invite both sides of our families, Dream family and my family. Let's invite them to our house. And that way the mothers don't have to do anything. And I don't really have to do anything either. I'm going to show them how to be a queen, sit on your throne, and let these men do what they need to do. Okay? That's what I decided. Well, that was the download that I received. Oh, God, y'all, Dream and I, we had a whole discussion about this. So I get out the spiritual bath and I tell him, I said, babe, we need to have Christmas at our house. He like, but we don't even celebrate Christmas. I said, babe, it's not about the name Christmas, but we do know that around that time, we always spend time with our family, whether it's going to my mother's house and kicking it or going out to eat with your mother. You already know we always get together. He coming up with all of these reasons. But what about this? But what about this? But what about this? I'm like, babe, none of that stuff matters. I am telling you that my intuition, my spirit, my higher self just said we need to host Christmas or December 25th. Our family needs to come to our house. Y'all, we went back and forth on this from November to like the week of Christmas. The week of December 25th. Let me not even say Christmas. We went back and forth on this till the week of December 25th. And so it's a couple of days before December 25th. I ain't gonna say Christmas because we ain't trying to say it was Christmas. And I said, babe, everything is going to work out. I am telling you, my intuition, my spirit is saying we need to have the family come over here. He finally surrendered. And when he surrendered and December 25th came, it was such a magical, peaceful, beautiful day that we had. And you know what happened that night? That night, Dreamwise came to me. He said, you know what, babe? I'm glad you. And yeah, man, listen. And we still cleaning up stuff from that December 25th celebration. We really are, because, you know, if people are over here, you got gifts being opened and boxes and tables, and it was a lot. And yes, babe, you are heavily in that divine masculine role. You've been throwing away boxes and trash since then, right? But after the fact, y'all, he came up to me and he said, I'm so glad that we decided to do that, babe. That was so sweet. That was beautiful. It was great. And I was like, thank you. I'm glad you feel that way. Okay? So that's what I mean when I'm saying honoring that divine counterpart. So, brothers, when your woman, she has that instinctive, intuitive knowing, it's okay for you to ask questions. It's okay for you to put some structure to it, but let her flow because she knows something. She knows something. She gets something. And let me tell you, when it came down to my mother, New Year's Day, we went to my mother's house. So just on what day was that? Sunday, we went to my mother's house and my mother cooked for the whole family. But her cooking, it tastes different. It was just better. And the reason why it was better was because she didn't have all the Christmas stress on her, because for Christmas, all she had to do was come over. Dream's mama, she usually liked to come to the house and clean up and do things. All she had to do was come over. I made her plate. I said, you know what, mama, I'm about to make your plate. You know what, mom-in-law, I'm about to make your plate. And I made their plate, and they just got to relax. Okay? And so when we saw my mother on New Year's Day, it was just a completely different energy because she didn't feel the stress, because she didn't feel obligated, because she didn't feel vowed to being that role, that matriarch, I got to cook for the family role. Okay? So at the end of the day, y'all, honor your divine counterpart, whether you are in a relationship or not. Honor that essence, honor that energy. Check. Let me know. That's so yummy. That is so absolutely yummy. Now, let me tell you how the readings came about. And yes, those readings do take a lot of time. They take a lot of energy. But you know, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's kind of funny. I didn't think that I would be doing readings. Like I just didn't know that was my thing. And you know, spirit has told me otherwise, for real. Okay. So I'm on the mushrooms. We're still talking about mushrooms. Isn't that so juicy? I'm on the mushrooms, y'all. And I am in our magic room. Now, mind you, in our magic room, we have a huge picture of Lakshmi. Actually, we have a tapestry of Lakshmi. And then we got that picture of the black goddess, that Bobby Hemmett picture, what he calls Venus. Right? What Bobby Hemmett calls the black goddess Venus. We have both of those pictures up, y'all. Let me tell you how deep this was. So I am in the magic room and I come across a Miss Cleo. I come across a Miss Cleo tarot deck. Mind y'all, this is so deep because a little while after the magic, after I did the mushroom trip, that's when the Miss Cleo documentary came out, and we were like, oh shit, this is absolutely alignment. So I'm in the magic room, some way, somehow, this Miss Cleo deck pops out to me. I have not seen this deck in years. I have not dealt with it in years. I pick it up and I start shuffling the deck because something just says shuffle the deck, shuffle the deck, shuffle the deck. So I'm shuffling it. And I'm like, okay, Spirit, why am I doing this with these cards? Am I about to give myself a reading? What's the point? Why am I doing all of this? A tarot card flies out of the deck and it falls on Dream and Eyes Abundance Altar. Oh, y'all think I'm just doing readings just for the hell of it. I'm about to tell y'all. Literally, the Four of Pentacles falls on our abundance deck as I'm shuffling these cards. Who knows about the Four of Pentacles in tarot? Let me know in the chat. Do y'all know about the Four of Pentacles? If not, I'm explaining it to you anyways. The Four of Pentacles is it's a deck. Let me see. I can get it. Let me show y'all it. Let me show y'all it so that y'all get a real understanding of how these readings came about and how this is a spiritual channel and how these things are spiritually aligned, because that's why I'm telling y'all need to be operating. Stop just doing things just for the sake of doing it. Get your spiritual confirmations. Get your spiritual confirmations before you start doing stuff. Let your spirit give you the yes on it. Let me show y'all this deck. This so freaking dope. This was amazing. And this is when I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it in my own divine way. I want y'all to see this. I want y'all to understand this. Why don't I see that card? Now we really getting funny. Now it's really getting funny up in here, y'all. I just went through this entire tarot deck and I do not see that card. Wow. So anyways, the Four of Pentacles in tarot, it's a man. He has a coin on top of his head. He has a coin that he's holding at his chest, and he's standing on two coins. Okay? He has a coin on his head. He has a coin on his chest, and he's standing on two coins. If you know anything about... Wow, that card done disappeared somewhere. If you know anything about the tarot, the pentacles symbolize abundance. Pentacles symbolize abundance. Pentacles symbolize money or the earth element, right? And then he's, like I said, he has a coin on his head, a coin on his chest, and two coins on his feet. And so when that card flew out and it flew on the abundance deck, on our abundance altar, that was the message from me, from Spirit, to say, you need to be doing readings. Cannot make it up. Okay? Cannot make that up. So that's how we got to doing the readings. That's how we got to say, okay, we're going to do some readings. We're going to do them sporadically and spontaneously, but I'm going to do them. I'm going to trust this download. I can't believe I can't find that card. And this deck should be completely full. Okay. So another thing, a big thing that I want to share with y'all when it comes down to working with deities. How many of y'all have taken the Invoking Deities class from Dream? Let me know in the chat. Wow. That card is not in this deck. That's very interesting. How many of y'all have taken the Invoking Deities class with Dream? Let me know in the chat. Damn, the Four of Pentacles just disappeared? Y'all haven't taken it? Okay, I ain't seeing nobody say nothing, so y'all must haven't taken it. If you haven't taken it, you need to take it. Okay. Tramel says, I have. James said, I still need to. Okay. Well, yeah, y'all absolutely do. You absolutely do need to, and here's why. I was in our magic room, right? I was in our magic room, and like I said, we have a huge tapestry of Lakshmi, and we have a picture of the goddess Venus, which is a black goddess that Bobby Hemmett talks about. In fact, her hair kind of looks like mine, and she's just beautiful. And so I'm standing up, y'all, and this is how the mushrooms will do you. When it comes to the magic mushrooms, you feel all of the energy. Everything has an energy. Everything is communicating with you. I'm standing in front of the goddess picture, y'all. And for some reason, I just keep being pushed back. It's crazy. Y'all, I'm standing in front of the goddess Venus picture, and I cannot control this. It's supernatural. But I keep on getting pushed back, like energetically. My physical body keeps leaning back like this. I thought I was crazy at this point. I was like laughing at myself, like, what the hell is this? Why do I keep on leaning back like this outside of my control? And what it was, what the message that Spirit was giving me was, one, these pictures that you have up in your house, they are real and they are radiating an energy. They are absolutely radiating an energy. They are radiating a message. And when you get on the mushrooms, you feel that energy. See, when your ego is so heavily impacted, you think, oh, look at this artwork. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I see you, Lakshmi. Shout out to the Lakshmi altar. That's what you think. But when you open yourself up energetically by way of a psychedelic, so on and so forth, you feel the energy that these images are radiating. Okay? As I stood in front of the Lakshmi one and as I stood in front of Venus, their energy was pushing me back. I like this, y'all. I'm standing up, leaning back, like, what the hell is happening to me? And I kept on having to like pull myself forward. And it was funny because the goddess Venus picture, have y'all seen this? It's like an Instagram or TikTok girl, and she says something like, stand up. Have y'all seen that? Let me know. Please, y'all let me know I'm not alone with this. But this is how I heard the goddess speaking to me in that picture. She literally said, stand up. Like she was on my ass. She was on my ass. She was like, girl, stand up. Stop leaning back like that. I'm talking to the picture, y'all. I'm like, damn, I'm sorry. Like, this energy just started pushing me back. I couldn't take it. Sis told me to stand up, y'all. I had to spread my feet out in like a very militant, strong stance and kind of like bend my knees so that I can like face this energy and not be pushed back. This was magical. This was some magical shit. Okay? The goddess told me to stand up, literally. So I had to stand up and I just had to. So at first, like, this is the picture and this is me. And the energy, like all of the stuff in between me and the picture is pushing me back like this. Real talk. Okay? It's pushing me back. And then when she said stand up, I had to, our energies in a sense, our auras in a sense, right? These pictures that you have hanging up in your wall, family, they have an aura. They are radiating something. So you need to make sure that the images that you have up are in alignment with what you desire to be in your space or what you desire to manifest. So it was like our auras started having to like press up against each other for me to be able to stand up straight. But the message that she was giving me was, you're a goddess too, stand up. So that's why that invoking deities class is so important, because a lot of the time, some of y'all are like me, where you're dealing with Oshun, you're dealing with Hanuman, you're dealing with Lakshmi, you're dealing with all of these different goddesses, and their energies are overwhelming you. And so when sis told me to stand up, I got on my square and I was like, you damn right I'm a goddess too. And it was funny because I thought that was just going to happen with the goddess Venus. If y'all don't know what that goddess Venus is, I'm going to post a picture in Patreon so that y'all can know what I'm talking about. And then I went to Lakshmi. Lakshmi's energy did the same thing. I'm leaning back. I can't control it. And I say, okay, let me stand up because I know I got to stand up. I know I got to face these goddesses. I know I got to face this energy head on. So that's something that I also want y'all to know and understand, is that you are already it. All you have to do is fully embody the divine goddess that you are. All you have to do is fully embody the divine God that you are. So when it comes down to that, you use these other deities, you use Lakshmi and Anubis, and actually, let me just show y'all really quickly, since I'm talking about gods and goddesses. Let me see one of my favorite goddesses on here. Got the Ashe cards right here, because you already know how that go. Look, this is the goddess Yemiya. Boom. Look at that. Ashe cards, the goddess Yemiya. Let me see. Ooh, y'all see that? Listen, if you don't have the Ashe cards, you want to go ahead and get that now. Drop the link in the chat, baby, so they can get it now. Do you see that? That's Yemiya. So I say all of that to say, you are already it. You are already the goddess. You are already it. You research these different deities. You research these different deities so that you can figure out how to more fully embody that energy inside of you. That's what we're talking about, okay? That's what we're talking about. And that's one of the messages that I received while on the magic mushrooms. Fully embody. A part of your spiritual work, a part of your sacred work is the embodiment of this sacred energy. It's being able to withhold this sacred power. Okay? It's not about just, another one that, come through. Another one that came through. I'm going to show it to y'all. All right, I'm going to show it to y'all. Wow. This is the goddess Nephthys. Divine assistance, protection, guardianship. That's what she represents. She helps those that are grieving. She's protection. She's for service. And then obviously of the transition of death. Absolutely powerful. Absolutely powerful. So, shit. Vanessa, are you still here, Vanessa? This is what I'm talking about. Wow. Vanessa, let me know in the chat that you're still here. Because you can't make it up. You can't mess it. Vanessa, let me know if you're still here. Just based off of the reading that I did for you, you already know the specific things that I told you. This is a goddess who you would work with. You will go research the goddess Nephthys. You will learn about her based off of what I just told you in your reading. You see how divine that is? You see how sacred that is? She's the helper of those that are grieving. Wow, that's what I'm talking about. Nephthys. Let me spell it for you. That's just so dope. Like, you cannot mess it. I mean, you can't make this up. And this card fell out. I didn't go and pull this card. It fell out. So that's just for you, sis. That's why y'all also need to get y'all readings and things like that, and get your Ashe cards, because things will start to connect things will start to make sense. All right. The last thing that I want to leave y'all with, and then I'm going to get off of here. Wow. Yes, 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 yes. You are already it. All you are doing when you research these gods and these goddesses and you do the invoking, all you are doing is learning more about how to bring that energy outside of yourself, inside of yourself. How to fully allow it to resonate in your being and how to show up as that thing. Which is why I love Dreams Invoking Deities class, which he's going to do again live next October. But I believe you can get the class and do it self-paced. Okay. The last thing I want to leave with y'all with was your queen energy and your king energy is necessary right now. Okay. Your queen energy and your king energy is necessary right now. I love it. Nessa says, y'all, I promise on everything. That reading was everything. She tapped into stuff. There was no way it was coincidence. None. Get a reading. You can't get a reading right now, but I will tell you soon when you can. Okay. I will tell you guys when you can. That's why you want to make sure that you stay abreast. And listen, let me tell y'all this too. Make sure that you are signed up to my email community. Make sure you're signed up to my email community. Very easy. All you have to do is like in the description of this video, if you are a woman, it says get your womb prayer. When you go to where it says get your womb prayer, when you go to my website, which I'm absolutely redoing soon. Actually, I'm going to be redoing my website sometime very, very soon because it does not even display, it doesn't do justice to the work that I'm doing right now. It doesn't. Okay. But if you go there and you put in, get your womb prayer, and you put your email in, you get signed up to my email list, that's how you will receive the notifications as to when I'm going to be doing readings or classes and all of those good things like that. So you want to make sure that you're there, or at least be signed up to Dream Wise's email. Okay. Make sure you're signed up to those lists. The last thing that I want to leave you with is your king energy and your queen energy is necessary right now. It's time's up, family, for lowering yourself down to meet people where they are at. Major message that came through on the magic mushrooms. It's time's up for meeting people where they are at. What you do is reach out your hand. Reach out your hand. Share your wisdom. Share your thoughts. Share your energy. But they got to come on up. They got to come on up. They got to rise up. You don't have to go and toss and tussle with people, in the mud and all of that stuff like that to try to save people. It's time's up. Stop it. Stop it. Reach out your hand. Reach out your hand and bring people up that way. Okay? Bring people up that way. Do not think, oh, I'm going to meet them at their level. I'm going to go meet you where you at. I'm going to come. Like, stop doing that. I don't know why. I don't know who taught us that. Who taught us that? Right? Who taught us that? They say, you got to meet people where they at. No, people need to meet you where you at. If you have to lower down to connect with people, something is off. People should want to rise up and meet you where you are at. So, but that's what kings and queens do. Okay? That's what kings and queens do. Kings and queens, they go and they speak to the people, they talk to the people and all of that good stuff like that, but they don't stay there. They don't stay in that place. And sometimes that's what we can do. A great example of this, hold on, I can't wait to have a reading again. I had to book a reading from my girl after mine's. Amazing. Thank you for that. I appreciate those beautiful words. I put a lot of love and energy into those readings. And thank y'all for the people who are being patient, right? Because it's a lot. I get a lot of readings at one time. I get a lot of readings at one time. They always sell out. Like every single slot that I have open for them, they always sell out. And so it just takes time and energy. So thank y'all for also being patient. But I was having a conversation with someone, and they were just speaking about the trials and tribulations they've been facing. Now, I'm good, right? Like people talk to me about their problems. I mean, that happens all the time. That's what I do. But I'm also very solution oriented. We're not going to just keep talking about what went wrong. Because if I stay in that place with you, then I'm bringing myself down energetically and vibrationally into that space. And that's unacceptable. So in those moments where I'm having conversations with people, I'm talking to you, but my hand is out to bring you up, to take you higher, to tap you into a greater vibration, a different way of perceiving and thinking about your situation. We're not just going to talk about the complaint. We're not just going to talk about everything that is going wrong. We're not going to talk about how, my man don't never do this, or these kids always do this, or I ain't never got this. We're not going to do that, because if I continue to have a conversation with you at that level, then I get caught up in that level, and that's not somewhere where I want to be. And so that's a major message for y'all as well. Whether you're talking to family, friends, whoever, stop meeting people where they are at and have people meet you where you are at. Okay? You have to be a person who brings people higher. And so complaining and having lower vibrational conversations about whatever, that's not going to help you in getting to where you got to go. You're not going to see a queen, and this sounds harsh, but you're not going to see a queen talk to peasants about a whole bunch of peasant problems. You're not going to see a queen or a king do that. They're going to say, okay, what's the problem? Okay, that's the problem. Here's the solution. Do that and then come talk to me. But if you're not willing to do the thing, we're not going to keep talking about it. We're not going to keep talking about it if you're not willing to move and do something different to rise up. So queens and kings, they have something to offer that can help the people to be better. And you offer that thing. You give that thing. But you don't lower yourself down just to fit in with the commoners. Okay? And I'm just using this terminology to give you a different understanding. But you don't lower your level of vibration to fit into a space that you don't really want to be fitting into. And that's a major lesson for 2023. There are some relationships that you have to just leave behind, especially if people are not trying to come with you where you're going. So you got to ask yourself, where am I going? What do I want? What do I desire? And you want this move. You want these moves that you're making to make you uncomfortable, but they make other people uncomfortable as well. You want people to be like, oh shit, that's how you moving? Yeah, that's how I'm moving. That's how I'm moving now. I'm moving on a whole nother level. I'm on a whole nother time. I'm on a whole nother timeline. Y'all still in 2022, 2020, 2021, and I'm somewhere else. Okay. I am fully optimizing this 2023 7-year. Y'all still talking about what you didn't have, what didn't work out, what's the problem, and all of that. And I am talking about how everything that I desire is manifesting and coming to pass. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm dealing with. And so as a queen, as a king, you gotta have your throne. You gotta have your crown on, baby. You gotta sit on your throne. Butterfly Purple Silver says, so the ones that keep wanting to talk and not do anything to change, Would you cut them out of your life? Totally. I think there's a difference. I don't think anything has to be done totally. I think I would just change the conversation. But more than that, you have to ask yourself, what in me draws me to people who are not about that action? Because the people that I'm talking to, they're about that action. Okay? So people, certain people don't want to talk to me about certain things because they already know I'm coming with the work. Certain people don't want to talk to me about certain things because I'm coming with the work. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, why do I keep attracting this type of conversation with this type of person? Here's a great solution. Here's a great solution that I use on people. So let's say I'm talking to a friend and she's complaining about what's not working out in her life. She's complaining. My question is, what can I do to help you now? Easy question. What can I do to help you now? If they turn around and say, I just need a listening ear, I'm sorry, I do not have the capacity to be a listening ear at this time. Doesn't mean I don't love you, because I do love you, but I don't have the capacity at this time to just be a listening ear. Because the energy that it takes to listen to complaining is too draining. I love you, but when you're ready to talk about solutions and implement them, that's when I'm here. Until then, go talk to somebody else who enjoys complaining. Okay? That's how you deal with that. Let me know in the chat, butterfly, purple, silver, if that was helpful. And that goes for everybody. If people are not talking to the changes that they are willing to make in order for their lives to be transformed, in order for their lives to align, if they are not willing to do that, then you're draining yourself essentially. So you have to ask yourself, do I value myself or do I value the opinion of others more? Yeah, well, sometimes you got to tell them just like that, straight up, just like that. Sometimes I got to be just like that. I can't do it anymore. It's draining. It's too much. If you're not going to do nothing different, then that's just what it is. Okay? What do you do if it's your mom? Good question. What do you do if it's your mom? Listen, your mom, see, first of all, you have to detach from the mom idea. You have to detach from the mom idea. At this point, you and your mom are both grown-ass women. Y'all are both grown women. And if you keep her in your head as, oh, this is my mom, so I have to, because that goes back to the obligation. That goes back to the vow. So what it's sounding like to me, Stephanie, is you feel obligated to listen to your mom's complaining. But the only reason why you feel that obligation is because it's mom. If it was a friend or a coworker, you wouldn't feel obligated. You would feel like, all right, girl, I'm tired of hearing this. I'm going to change the conversation. But because it's mom, you feel like it's what you have to do. So first of all, you want to understand that, yes, this is your mom, but this is also another grown woman. And at this point, y'all are friends more than you are daughter and mother. Get with it. She's your friend. She's your homegirl, essentially. Yes, she's your mom and you respect her, but the energy between you two, hence why she talks to you complaining, is because y'all are really on the same level. You are at the point now where you are at the point now. Okay, here's a good one, Stephanie. Here's a great way to think about this. Talk to your mom the way you would talk to your child. And I'm not talking about the disrespecting your child and you mad at your child, so you're telling your child what to do. But if you had a kid, a young child who was complaining about something in their lives, how would you communicate with them? Because at this point, you are the parent and your mother is the child. Okay? When you're in that middle age range, 30, 40s, 50s, well, really not even 50s. When you get to 50, the role has already switched. But like when you're in your 30s and 40s, You and your mom, y'all are in the same playing field. It's like y'all are friends. And then when you get to your upper 40s, 50s, the roles switch. So now you become the mom and your mom becomes the child. So how you would approach your mom, if she's the person that this is happening with, you would speak to her the way you would speak to a child. Compassionately, understandingly, but also very solution oriented, because you would tell your child complaining doesn't solve your problem. Complaining does not make your situation better. Complaining is not going to change whatever is happening right now. Do you want to change it? Do you want this to be your reality? Do you want this to be the situation? So that's a major mental shift. Stop thinking about her as, oh, she's my mom and she has some type of sovereignty over you, because she doesn't. You're her caretaker at this point. Whether you're taking care of her or not, physically, energetically, you're her caretaker at this time, because the roles have switched. Okay? That's why you see on the little picture, you see the parent taking care of the baby. And then as the baby becomes an adult, the very last picture is the adult child carrying the parent. So that's a mental shift, a mental switch you can do in your mind to figure out how to best communicate with your mom and conserve your energy. All right? Does that make sense? That makes sense. Good. All right? That makes sense. So hit that switch, see how that works for you, see how she receives that, and then you'll know what to do from there. Okay? You'll know what to do from there. But you are communicate to her the same way you would communicate with a child. And you know what? With children, what we also do is we put some simple steps in order, right? We put some steps in place. So as she's talking, you can give her, okay, mom, first we're going to do this. Second, we're going to do this. Third, we're going to do this. Fourth, we're going to do this. Okay, mom, do you got that? All right, tell me again what we said we're going to do. Yes, first we're doing this. Second, third, fourth. That's what we're doing here, okay? That's how you get her, all right? Tremel says that information was very helpful. Kwamen says, I only speak to my mom at certain times, never in the morning before I did my work, never when I am loaded with stuff on my mind. And if we talk, I tell her that I am not her emotional trash can. Ooh, that's intense. That's intense. Yeah, family, you have to have boundaries. You have to have boundaries even with your parents. Even with your parents, you have to have boundaries. And you have to trust that they will learn. They will learn. The same way like a child. Over time, a child learns. Over time, a child gets it. Your parents will too. Okay? And here's the deep part. Here's the deep part about it, like Kwame is talking about. The sooner you start to implement your boundaries with your parents, the better off you'll be. Some of you have not had no boundaries with your mama, with your dad, specifically with mamas. It's mostly mamas and daddies. Some of y'all have never had any boundaries with your mother, and now you are feeling it. You're feeling it. So you need to start implementing those boundaries now. The same way you had to have boundaries with your kids or with little kids that be around you. All right, you jumping on me too much. That's enough. Okay, you asking too many questions. That's enough. All right, now it's quiet time. It's nap time. You need to take a nap. So the same way you do that with with kids is the same way you have to do it with your parents, and they'll still love you. They'll still love you. They'll come to understand. They will eventually get it. Okay, don't doubt that. They will eventually get it. All right, a mushroom question. I know Dream talked about not doing heroic dosages while you have to take care of your child. Have you ever tried a heroic dosage before sleep, or do you think that would defeat the purpose? First of all, sis, you're not going to go to sleep. So don't tell it's not about, you're not going to go to sleep. Once you do those mushrooms, your mind is going to be so active, whether you do a heroic dose or not. And a heroic dose is anywhere from 3.5 grams and up. So if you do 3.5 grams or more, sis, you're not going to sleep. There's going to be too much activity. There's going to be too much action going on. In fact, you should plan on being up for at least 6 hours, I would say. Just being honest. You don't want to go to sleep, right? You don't want to go to sleep. Sleep is not really, from my experience, right? From my experience, sleep is not happening. Sleep is not happening because you're already too active. You're already too up. There's already, like, you have so much stimulation. Try going to sleep. Try going to sleep with colors and sounds and everything sticking out to you. Okay? It's just not going to happen. There's too much stimulation. There's too much stimulation to go to sleep. So if you do it at night, I think that's a good idea for you. But then again, at the same time, what's really grounding for me is nature. Okay? What's really grounding for me is nature. So that's why for me doing it in the day was very beneficial, because if I did start to feel, you know, very loopy and very psychedelic and all of that, I can go outside, put my feet in the grass, look at the sun, sit down in the grass, and that would actually calm me down. So, but here's the thing that I want you to do. I want you to try that muscle test, right? Should I do it at night? Yes or no? Should I do it with my daughter at home? Yes or no? Do that. And then trust your intuition. Here's what I know. Here's what I learned is that no matter what option, no matter what you do, no matter how the experience goes, that is the experience that you needed to have. No matter how the experience goes, no matter what dosage you do, that is the experience that you needed to have. And that's what you have to surrender into. That is what you have to accept. That is what you have to embrace. Because that's the truth. Your higher self, your spirit guides wouldn't place anything on your path that you were not able to deal with, manage, take care of yourself. And that's what I did. I just trusted that. I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to trust that. This is the amount. This is the setting. This is the environment, so on and so forth. And yes, we're talking about psilocybin mushrooms, or magic mushrooms, or a psychedelic. Those are the terms that we hear. Plant medicine. We're not talking about mushrooms that you can buy from the grocery store. Even though I'm pretty sure you can do some magic with those, but I don't think they would be psychoactive. I don't think they're going to cause your neural pathways to open up and rewire and do things like that. Okay? Best done with someone or alone. Yeah, that goes back to what I was just saying. It's whatever you find yourself in. But you have to be pure of heart. You have to be very intentional. And it has to be something that actually calls it. There has to be some type of synergy between it. It can't be, oh, I'm doing mushrooms just because I think this is cool and D-Ray just brought it up, so yeah, I'm going to do it. No. There has to be an internal knowing. Like when I did it, like I said earlier, I just knew that I had to do it. I just knew. And I didn't waste no time. Right when I got the download, I gave myself 2 days to fast. And then after those 2 days of fasting, that very next day, that morning, we did our Patreon book club. And then I went on my trip. Divine Zoe says, I tried them alone at night. It was a full dose. Yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, whatever is meant for you is meant for you. So just trust it. What strain did I take? Girl, listen, Keisha, listen. I'm not that abreast. I did try to do some research. Damn, what was the name of it? I did research it, but I forget the name. My bad, sis. I forget the name. And Butterfly Silver, don't ask the question, was it scary? Because if you're asking that question, that's not a good question to try. That's not a good question to ask, was it scary? But I see your friend here, Black Swan, saying we should try it. I think that would be very interesting. 2 friends to do it together. Okay, 2 friends to do it together. I would definitely let you know if I think of it. Hopefully it comes to mind. It was the most common one that you can find out here. That's what I do know. It was the most common one that you could find out here. But those were some of the downloads that I received from it. If you came on here late, if you just got on here, I would advise you all to go back and listen to this video from the beginning. Because so many downloads came through on that trip for me, and it was exactly what I needed. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy this first week in the new year. I'm glad that I went live before this first week in the new year was over. Glad I did that so I can start off on the right page, going live when I intuitively feel it. And I'm excited about it. So that's my time, y'all. We'll be talking soon. Y'all stay tuned. I have a class coming soon, the Sacrament of Sacred Love, where it's gonna be 6 weeks, a 6-week class talking about spiritual love, spiritual relationships, how to manifest it and maintain it. That's what we're gonna be doing. I don't know what else is to come. Shakoya G, should you invoke goddesses on shrooms? I think you should do what your higher self calls you to do. But here's the thing. You cannot, let me just tell y'all before I get off of here. When it comes down to these shrooms, y'all, flow. Don't go in with a plan of, ooh, I'm going to invoke a deity when I go in here. Just flow. Because I promise you, everything that you need is going to come through. Everything that you need is going to come through. You're going to just know what to do. Like I said earlier in this, just a little minute ago, like I didn't have to invoke the goddesses. The goddesses was invoking me on some real shit. We got 2 goddesses in this house that I went and I stood before, and they were like pushing me. They were like, girl, you already a goddess. Stand up. I didn't have to invoke them. Literally, they told me, you're a goddess. Stand up. That's it. Stand up. You just like us. Literally, the pictures was talking to me. So that's just real shit. And so I'm not going to play myself and tell myself that didn't happen or that wasn't real or da 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 da. That shit was real. I'm already a goddess. And so when I do like the invoking deities like Dream, which I've invoked deities before and all of that, when I do it, it's not necessarily about the goddess Oshun, Isis, Lakshmi. It's not necessarily about them. It's about a few of their qualities that I want to bring forth out of my being. It's about their qualities that I want to experience more of in my physical world. So that's how I will answer that question. Okay. And magic mushrooms is not like weed. It's not like weed at all. So it's interesting. So if you do, I am not a medical advisor. I am not a doctor. I am not a magic mushroom connoisseur. I am none of those things, okay? I am not giving you medical advice, but from my own experience, start with micro dosing, because if you take a micro dose, which is a little piece, I was about to get off of here, but let me say this one thing since y'all are asking questions about the mushrooms. Start with the micro dosing. And the reason why I say that is because when you start with micro dosing, the chemistry in the mushroom starts to align with the chemistry in your body. And so I had already been microdosing for some time, on and off, not every day, but every couple of weeks or whatever, I would just microdose. That way, when I did take my higher dosage of mushrooms, my body was already integrated. My body already understood what was happening. So start with microdosing so that your body can get familiar with it. And then that way, when you go to a larger dose, you already kind of have a feeling of what it is. And it's not too like shocking to you all at once. I do not have a reliable source at this time. If I do find one, I will let y'all know. All right. I do not have a trusted source. Hit up some people, in your area, all of that good stuff like that. I appreciate y'all again. Y'all have a great, great rest of y'all week. Happy 2023. Really take these downloads and utilize them in your year. Peace and love. Talk soon. Bye-bye.